Good morning, y'all. Happy Wednesday. I'm trying to get myself together. But listen, as I was sitting here getting ready to come on camera, I was going to talk about something different. I literally had a video planned. The guy had gave me a message about him restoring things that people thought were dead. Things that, it seemed like there was no hope. Well, there is hope. That was my goal to talk about today. And as I was getting ready to record, I was getting like dressed to record, I just got this overwhelming feeling about monitoring spirits. Hold on. Sorry. So anyway, I just got this overwhelming feeling about monitoring spirits and how monitoring spirits can be in the form of people, in the form of animals, insects. You just feel like somebody's watching you, right? Well, that can actually stop you from becoming who you are, doing the things you want to do because you're so afraid of people watching you. So I'm actually going to shift gears and not talk about what I was initially going to talk about and just talk about the monitoring spirits, because clearly God is putting it like on my spirit so heavy right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and release it and get it out there. Maybe somebody needs to hear this right now. But do not allow the thought or the idea or the reality of people that you know monitoring you and watching you come in between you and your destiny. Because it is uncomfortable when you know people personally just sit back and watch you. People will sit back and observe you. They'll sit back and talk shit about you. They just sitting back just watching you, thinking like, okay, well, when's this person going to give up? Or they're always minimizing everything you're doing. They're always downplaying everything you're doing, everything you're saying. No matter how talented you are in the field that you're in, people will always downplay you, right? And I'm talking about the ones that know you, because they just cannot, from the time that they knew you, that's kind of the image that they have stuck in their head. You can't grow further than that in their mind. So when you start to do other things, God starts changing you and transforming you. You know, you're not the same person you was 5 years ago. You're not the same person you was 10 years ago. You're definitely not the same person 15, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, 30 years ago, whatever. You're going to continue to grow and transform. That's what life is about, right? But people just get so stuck on who you were and the fact that they actually know you. It's like they just do not want you to get past that. And what they'll do is they'll try to make things uncomfortable for you so that you just start the introvert. Like, you will go into a shell and you won't actually be yourself and do things that God has told you to do. You won't even attempt to do anything that's going to bring exposure or visibility because you're so afraid of people that you already know. F them people, respectfully. Them people don't got nothing. If you look at their lives and you look at your life, clearly God is doing something in you that he's not doing in them. So how can you expect somebody who is not even on your level to really be happy for you? That's how you have to look at it. I don't care if it's friends, family, whoever. It does not matter. Either people are going to accept you and they're going to support you and however they're able to support, or they're not. But you can't allow that to come in between what God has told you to do and what your passion is, what your purpose is. You know, just whatever you want to do, you're scared to do it because you don't want people that you know to see you. The thing is, I can actually say this, people that I personally know, I have blocked. Because it's either you're with me or you're against me. You're either supporting me or you're not. But there's no in between. It is what it is. The point I'm making is, do you honestly think because I block people that stop people from watching me? No. It's really just more so to make me feel good so I don't see their username or their profile picture. But let's be real. You can't stop people from watching you. Blocking a page does nothing. They know your username. They know your first and last name. They still can search you up. It does nothing. And when people are adamant that they want to watch you, they're going to do that. They're like the Watchers. Anybody who knows anything about the book of Exodus and the fallen angels, the Watchers, monitoring spirits. And I just want to touch base on what I mentioned in the beginning when I was talking about they can come in the form of insects, animals. That is a real thing. Whether you believe it or not, that's totally up to your belief. But a spirit can travel and insert itself into any open vessel. And notice I said any open vessel. The vessel has to be open for a spirit to be able to enter, right? when you just are around certain people, certain animals, certain insects, or like when you go outside, things are gravitating towards you, things that kind of shouldn't even be in that area. So let me give you an example. For instance, when I recently was going through spiritual warfare recently, when I would sit in front of my front window in my living room, there was always like a huge bee on the outside of my house, right? Flying right within eye view of the window. I don't have any flowers there. I don't have anything there that would have been any interest of a bee, right? There's literally nothing but stones. That bee for 3 days literally will hover in the same spot right where I was sitting at. That is a monitoring spirit. What reason would it be for a bee to be exactly where I was? And when you're spiritually in tune, you're able to pick up on things like that. But yes, do not allow that to stop you, because I've been there where I felt like I didn't want to talk about certain things. I didn't want to do what God told me to do because of what people, perception is going to be, or how I just felt uncomfortable about people always watching me. Well, you got to get past that, because if you don't want people to watch you, then you're always going to stay, below the level where God is trying to take you. You got to step into your comfortability. So that's my message for today. Do not allow people to make you go into a shell. The monitoring spirits are going to watch you. The watchers are going to do their job. They're watchers. But that's all they are doing. They're watching. And if anything, maybe they might learn something from you. So anyway, let's go clean this couch. I didn't get to it yesterday, so I'm about to show you guys what it's working with. Alright, y'all, so here we go. I'm about to flip the camera. Alright, so first, I'm gonna like squirt some water. So you see how, can you see that? See that water coming out? So I'll like soak it real good. And then we'll work on scrubbing up this dirt. I think what I need to do next time, I'm gonna add a little bit of vinegar to the water. It was saying you could add a little bit of vinegar to the cleaning solution. Well, to the water to make a cleaning solution. So yeah, I'm gonna try that. Alright, so this is kind of good. So let me just go over it a few times and show you what it looked like. Y'all see that? And this is just one swipe. And this is without vinegar. So I am going to have to go over it a few times. But you see how well this works? Now, mind you, I do got to put in some arm muscle. I am going to have to like push down really hard once I put this phone down. But it is removing the stains. Let me do one right here so y'all see. This machine was $80, so I think it was worth it. Alright, so that's enough for y'all. Oh my gosh, I done got hot already. It is crazy. But yes, the moral of the message, the story, the plans is do not allow monitoring spirits to stop your plans. You're always going to have somebody watching you. You're always going to have somebody trying to, size you up just to see. And then sometimes, guess what? There's people who just sit back and watch you because they're interested, but they can't make a move too soon. Maybe they feel like they have to watch you for some time to try to get to know your personality, to see if you're a good fit, to see if you're fake. Like, you just never know why somebody's watching you. But the thing is, it's not your job to try to figure out why somebody's watching you. That's the thing. So stay true to who you are. Do what God has told you to do. And even if you aren't seeing the results that you're seeing right now, guess what? You should be proud of yourself just for being consistent. Most people give up when when they don't see the results that they're looking for. Most people are not strong enough to stay consistent in an area where they're not benefiting. So if you're in a situation where you're not benefiting the way you want to, but you're still staying consistent, you're really a winner for real. That's my message for you. I love you guys. Have a great day.